Masechta Zevachim, Daf Ayin Gimel Amud Aleph is starting from the Tanya. Yesterday we were learning that how in the Mishnah we learn that if it's Asher Haniskel that gets mixed up with other kabbanis, or if it's Chatois Hamesois that get mixed up, it's not bottle. We kill them all. No, these two are the same. Asher Haniskel gets killed, and so too the Chatois Hamesois if they died. If the owner of the chatas died before he was makavit, so you have to kill the chatas. If it got mixed up with other kabbanis, we said it's not bottle. So you might have said let it become bottle. So yesterday we learned that our Mishnah follows up Meya Reish Lakish, who says kol. Even if there is a kol, meaning sometimes you count it individually, it's a davar chashuv, and a davar chashuv ain't in this battle. It doesn't become battle. That's the reason.
Because you count.
Right. You count it individually. But then, so it's chashuv. So even though sometimes you count it and you sell it as a bulk.
That's
but
why
then,
you have to kill all of them.
You have to kill all of them. Because davar chashuv is not going to become battle. Then we said, there was, what about Rabbi Yehuda? Not Rabbi Yehuda, who says that S has to be that you always count. S, according to that man who learns in Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yochanan, I think it was. Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yochanan usually argue. So it's leave it to Rabbi Yochanan, who says S. It always, the only way it's going to be a davar chashuv is if it's old. The only way to count is ones. One of the. I show you sometimes it's sold as a bulk. The shvarim in general. Is not so. According to Rabbi Yochanan in Rabbi Meir, we got a problem here.
This one is.
So what are we going to say? How are we going to learn the shot? Or it's Rabbi Yehuda, Reish Lakish, or Rabbi Yehuda?
Because animals are sometimes sold in bulk.
It's Rabbi Yochanan. I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes sold in bulk, and he learns the nusach in the Mishnah. Arlo was not kol. Kol would mean. As long as the derech is to count it as one, even though sometimes individually, but sometimes you sell it by bulk, it's still a davar chashuv. But according to Rabbi Yochanan, who learns that the nusach is S, the only time it's a davar chashuv is only if you count it. So only if you count it individually all the time. So what are you going to say then? Says the Gemara that our Mishnah will follow Rabbi Yehuda, who learns like Rabbi Yeshua. Our Mishnah follows the shita of Rabbi Yeshua, who says by liter k'tziyos we say kol. We learn we learn the same derech as Rabbi Yochanan, that not as Rabbi Yochanan, as Reish Lakish. As long as it's counted individually, it's a davar chashuv. At any time, so it's good. Even though sometimes it's sold bulk. So where's this case where Rabbi Yehuda said in the shita of Rabbi Yeshua that who learns like Reish Lakish's shita, but it's Rabbi Yeshua. Our Mishnah is Rabbi Yeshua, not Rabbi Meir, because according to Rabbi Yochanan in Rabbi Meir, our Mishnah it should be bottle because it's not always. He learns the nusach is S. The nusach is S. S means always has to be counted individually. Kol, Reish Lakish learns kol, as long as it's counted individually, even though sometimes it's sold by bulk, it doesn't matter. Right, and that's how he learns Rabbi. So according to Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi doesn't fit in our Mishnah. So we said it follows.
What did Rabbi say?
With our Mishnah, we said that it's not bottle. But according to Rabbi Yochanan, how he learns the nusach in Arla, according to Rabbi Yochanan, he says the nusach in Arla is S, meaning that it always has to be counted individually. So what are you going to say? He says according to Rabbi Meir, he learns S. So why did Rabbi Meir say in our Mishnah? We said our Mishnah is a stam Mishnah, so it follows Rabbi Meir. So why did our Mishnah say it's not going to be bottle? So we said that it's not always counted. Should be bottle. So our Papa explained that this time of our Mishnah follows Rabbi Yeshua. And now we're going to learn what is it. this with the liter ktzias. What was the case? The Tanya we learned in the Braisa. Liter ktzias shedors al pi igul ve'enu yadei beiza igul dorsa. Al pi chavis ve'enu yadei beiza chavis dorsa. Okay? Al pi igul means that. Let me first tell you how it works with figs. They dry it up. They put it out in the field. It gets dried up. Then they cut off the stems. Then they put it in a keli. And then it's a form. They put it in a form and it turns into a like a cake. They take a presser and they press it and becomes a cake. But it's each inch is a liter. Each layer.
How they become connected?
You press them all together.
But it's
It
syndicated,
becomes like
right?
one big cake.
So, but if you take
But-
it out of the, how you take it out individually?
You cut it. You cut it. No, you cut it. It becomes so like a cake. But every inch is a liter. Like
So if you want to take it out, you take out a whole.
you
out
take a
layer.
whole cake out,
A sponge cake.
like a sushi
It's
cake.
not like
that
a
was-
press the feigen, as we said in Yiddish.
Yeah, but a gulei dvela. But here it's a whole form. It's a cake of dvela. So you cut off. If you want to cut off a liter, you skim off an inch
Of each one.
of the top. That's 1 liter. You skim the next one, but the barrel can get bigger, whatever.
Or there are layers
Of figs, sure.
You press the fig.
Figs. So every inch and the layer of the form, the whole round is a liter. Okay. What happened here?
Depends how big the pot process.
Right. No, but the form is usually a whole cake. But then he says there's a kaveres, a basket of reeds that's bigger, or a barrel you can have. What happened? It was on the top. Let's talk about the barrel. The leader on the top had mixed of truma, and he knew where's the truma on the top. It was on the right side. He knew exactly on the top of the top layer. On the right side was, let's say, the truma pot. But the problem is he doesn't know which barrel
Truma of figs.
of figs. He says, which barrel is this? This barrel or that barrel? He doesn't know.
In our barrel.
So okay, what's the halacha? So you have a machlekes between Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Yeshua, and two ways of learning the machlekes of Rabbi Meir
If it's butter or
and
not.
Rabbi Yeshua. How it becomes batal. Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yeshua. The first one, the Tanakama, learns like this: that Rabbi Lezer. Let me see if it's Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir says the machlekes. It was Rabbi Meir explaining the machlekes between Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Yeshua, and Rabbi Yehuda explaining the machlekes between Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Yeshua. So I'm going to first say it all outside. It'll go much faster. We're going to talk about Rabbi Meir. So Rabbi Meir says, look, Rabbi Lezer says this whole union of kaveres is only truma derabbanan. Why is it truma derabbanan? What does it say in the pasuk when it gave to truma? Dogon, grain, the seedish wine, the yitza, and oil. Figs, there's no figs. Dogon, the seedish, the yitza. The gonchli.
There's no truma chayim.
So you don't say it. No, truma is only derabbanan. So he says, listen. We're gonna be mevatel in the barrel itself as a whole bunch of layers. We're gonna make it as if it's little pieces, as a whole bunch of, as if it's separated figs, and it's bottled because how much does tuma bottle? Echad b'meya. There's 100 figs there. It's bottled. That's one pshat. That's how Rabbi Meir learns according to Rabbi Lezer. Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Meir according to Rabbi Yeshua. Are you joking? The bottom is chulim. We know it has nothing to do. It's not even. It has. This is not connected with the top. If you want to be mevatel the top, it has to be a whole bunch of tops.
And this is
This you're taking one barrel and you're being mevatel with as if it's mixed on the bottom. It's not. It's on the top. Separate layers. Nobody says you have to match. When you want to be mevatel something, it has to be doima. Has to be mamish doima. Here it's not doima. It's in the same barrel. And here he's taking the top in the same barrel. He's connecting it with the bottom to be mevatel. If you want to be mevatel, it has to be tops. Like it has to be, let's say, 10 muffins. Eat the top. Everybody likes the top of a cupcake, not the bottom. So it has to be the tops. 10 top of cupcakes will be mevatel. 100 cupcakes Could be Mavatal that one. But to say in the same barrel, he says it has nothing to do. It's not doing that.
So it can't be the box. It can't be
So
the
Rabbi Yeshua said the only way it's going to be Mavatal if it's 100 barrels and there's tops. All the tops are, so this is going to become bottle. That's how.
These are our barrels.
Yeah, and he's 100 to 1.
So what did Rabbi Yeshua say that what? That
Rabbi Yeshua said Sonim Midabanan, so we can make it. We look at it as if it's nifradois, and it becomes bottle. Okay.
And Rabbeinu says
Rabbeinu explained the machlekes. That Sefer Rabbi Lezer Shemakilim. Here, I'll read just a note over here. No, the notes, and he brings down from Rashi. Sefer Rabbi Lezer Shemakilim lides ki'ilu hatruma shebefi hakli nifredes b'mkayma v'nisarva b'ktir shebetachtis hakli, as if we got all mixed up with the bottom. That's how he learns it. But of course, he argues.
who said that? Rabbeinu?
Rameh explains Rabbi Lezer.
So therefore it could become bottle.
It could become bottle, but Rabbi Yeshua says absolutely not. He says it can.
I told him the Rabbanan, the Sfomer.
What? She'arei kol api is hein bechlal asaf Hashem ha'aktzir shebefi kli zeh hein atuma. Menim she'eish meyam. He says you have to have 10 other barrels. If not, it's not daima. It has to be daima. I'm going to try to find where he says it.
What does it
Okay,
help with this 10 other barrels?
because you'll say it's 100, so the one is bottled to the right.
Oh,
One barrel is bottled to the other, the top.
But they're not mixed.
A bunch of top doesn't matter. It is mixed between the barrels.
It's in one barrel that you have the truma.
You have one barrel, just the top of it is truma.
Yeah.
Of course, the bottom is going to be fine.
I mean, the whole top is truma.
Only the top, because you don't know. He knows where on the top, the right side of the top.
Oh, he knows,
But he doesn't know which barrel right side on the top it is.
Okay.
Okay, so then you have to have 100 to 1, 100 tops to 1 in order to be babatl. That's the only way it's going to be similar.
Who
Okay.
says that?
That's how Rabbi Meir learned machlekes. Rabbi Yehuda says no way. Makes no sense to learn that Rabbi Eliezer learned that it's going to be bottled to the bottom. Has nothing to do with the bottom.
So what is he? So what is he?
So he says,
So what does
he says Rabbi Eliezer holds, like we said Rabbi Yeshua before, that it's going to be bottled if it is 100 barrels to 1. And Rabbi Yeshua is going to say it's never bottled. Why is it never going to be bottled? Because it's Adava Chashuv, and Adava Chashuv won't be bottled even if there's 300 barrels. It's not going to be bottled. Why? Because he holds sometimes you count it individually. And since sometimes you count it individually, it's Adava Chashuv, it's not bottled. That's the whole Gemara. I'm going to say this whole Amid now. So the Gemara, the Tanya, we learned in Abraisa Litra Ketzia is the dried figs, the share of a litra, Shadas Alpi, eagle, which they pressed it on the top, and over there, this truma of the dried figs of truma were on the top, on the mouth of the barrel, on the mouth of the mold. But he doesn't know which top it was. Which one? Which top of the chavis? First by eagle. First he says the form is smaller. Form where they make the gulim is a smaller one than the whole barrel. So he says, eagle. There's a whole bunch of forms. He doesn't know which form on the top was the trumadik figs. Al pi chavis, it was on top of a barrel. Then yedei beis chavis drasa.
Beres it says, no?
Which one? Al pi kaveres. That's the third case. Al pi kaveres on top of a basket made from reeds. Then yedei beis kaveres drasa. He doesn't know which kaveres is the trumadik figs. Rameya says this is how we have to learn the machlekes. Rabbi Lezer says, "Royin es hal yonis keilu hein prudes." We look at the top ones as if they're pieces, and hatachtoinos milas as hal yonis, and the bottom will be mavatot hal yonis, will be mixed. We'll consider it as if it's all mixed together, and it will be bottled in one barrel. You don't have to have 100. Rabbi Yeshua, hey, im yesh meya pumim, if there are 100 with tops, yellow, that's the only way it will be bottled, because it has to be doima. He says, we're finished. If it's not doima, it's not going to be bottled. The im lav, but if there's less than 100 barrels, let's say, with the tops, as soon as it's going to be asur.
The middle of the shear, combined.
V'hashulayim,
How much was it at the top? 5 pounds, 10 pounds?
so a liter. Take a liter, like
Like
this.
Okay.
So imagine
So,
you put it out. This
So why
round,
you need 100 barrels for 1 liter?
100 tops. No, all the barrels are good on the bottom. It's just the tops.
On the tops of the barrel.
Only the tops of the barrels we look at, and that's going to be mavatal this top.
It's a lot.
But everything on the bottom is good by all of them, by all the barrels.
Yeah, because the one was only
It
on the
was
top.
only on the top. The truma was on the top. We know exactly where the truma was,
Okay.
on the right side, on the top. So you have to have. We don't know which barrel. So therefore, so he says hashulayim mutarim. Of course, the shulaim is going to be mutarim, but the top is going to be usher if you don't have 100 to 1. Rabbi Yehuda says no. This is the way to learn machlekes. Says Rabbi Lezer im yesham meya pumim. Rabbi Lezer holds it has to be 100 barrels to 1 in order to be
We don't look at
mevatel.
we don't
Look at one barrel and like Meir said, and it's as if it's broken into pieces. It says ki'ilu. We're not in ki'ilu business. It has to be doima exactly, and here it's on the top. You have to have 100 to 1. Yalu. So if there's 100 to 1, then it's mevatel it.
So it helped
Rabbi Lezer, according to Rabbi Yehuda, the imlav. But if there isn't 100 to 1, ha pumim asurim. All the tops are going to be asur. Rabbi Yeshua says, afilu yesham shloisha meyes pumim. Even if you have 300 barrels with the tops, loyal, it's not going to be bottled. Why? Because he holds kedas Rabbi Yeshua that he says that since sometimes Rabbi Yeshua says if sometimes you count it individually, it's a davar chashuv and it cannot be bottled. Not in the bottle. It's not going to be bottled.
In other words, those get pressed the pike that are on the top and the right corner that you say.
It's a gulit
It
vela.
never becomes bottled.
It never becomes bottled because they're counted individually.
Well, because the C is counted individually.
Because the gulit vela is counted individually. Yes, or the liter is counted individually. So Drasa eagle, if he
So we put
that's machlekes, and we said our Mishnah follows Rabbi Yehuda aliba de Rabbi Yeshua, who says that even with against 300 mouths, it's not going to be bottled because something that's counted sometimes individually, at any time, if it's counted individually, it's a davar chashuv and it's not going to be bottled. Period. Now that we're going to be mamshich, the end of the brayso, it says derasa be'igol. Now we're talking about he pressed the trumadika feigen, the trumadika figs, dried figs, in middle of the kli, so we don't even know where it is. So if we don't know where it is, maybe he doesn't know if it's the right, the left. He doesn't even know the bottom and the top. He doesn't even know which level. So if you don't know, that barrel yalo will be mevatalik because it's in the barrel. You don't know where it is. If it's something you know where it is, it has to be similar to where it is. That it should be bottled. Here we knew exactly on the top.
According to our mayor?
This is according to everybody.
Everybody
If you don't know where it is, before the first case, so it's not a
Here
double
you know
chashuv, you know where it is.
But here you
That's
know
it.
where it is.
Here we knew exactly where it was on the top.
That's why I said double chashuv.
It's-
because we knew
It has not so much davar chashuv, it's shaykh to be mizbatel in that barrel itself because you don't know where it is. The only time you're going to make a fuss about it is you knew exactly where it was. It's on the top. So you have to have similar to that, and then you can become echad demeya bottle. But if in the same barrel you don't even know where it is, so then you go according to the barrel, and it's bottle b'meya. I'm finished.
Oh, so everybody holds it bottle.
Yeah, he doesn't make a machlekes there.
Yalu? What does yalu mean? Oh, did they help
It's
you?
bottle, yeah. Yalo means it's bottle.
Give
according to everybody, it's mevatlis to the barrel itself, because we don't know exactly. It's connected to the bottom. It's connected to the sides. It's connected from all sides.
So there you can say
So,
there's 100
so
around-
even
yes,
according to Rabbi Yehuda, B'Shem Rabbi Yeshua, he will hold its bottle. It's not considered as a davar shebeminyan. It's not some davar shebeminyan. Has to be something that you know where it is. Here, you don't even know where it is.
You don't even know that it exists anymore, right?
No, it exists, but you don't know where it is. Okay, so a davar shebeminyan has to be you know where it is. Okay, Rav Ashi Amar, going back now to before. If you remember that the Rabbanan said, even a shayr, we thought there's only 6 things that are not in this bottle. Remember the special beet stalks, cabbage stalks. Those were very the dvarim chshivim. Other than those 6, it becomes bottle. So what's Rav Ashi going to say about our Mishnah? Why our Mishnah cannot go according to Rabbanan? Because there's only 6 things that are that become bottle, and this is not part of the 6. Says we could even say according to Rabbanan, who are mekel by Arla, they only hold 6 things are not going to be bottle, right? So he says, but over here, Balachayim, here we're talking about Shvarim, Balachayim, Chshivi, V'loi Blatli. He says Balachayim itself has its own category of Chshivas. There we're talking about things. The Chacham only counted things that Giduli Karka. I think he calls it Giduli Karka. 6 things from Giduli Karka. V'nishken Balchai, or diamond, or something like the Choshev on its own. I mean, it's even though it's not in the 6, it's a Davar Choshev, and therefore V'loi Blatli, it's not going to be bottled. In fact, the Gemara, now we're coming into a new Inyan. Let me just tell you, there's a thing of Kol de Parish Meruba Kaparish. What does that mean? If there are 9 stores that are kosher on the block, 9 stores, and 1 store that's safe, and you find a piece of meat on the street, so we say, Kol de Parish, if it's separated from the store, and you see the piece of meat on the street, so we say Kol de Parish Meruba Kaparish, since 9 stores are kosher and 1 is treif. So we say, okay, this is Brod's meat, it's kosher. Yeah, but we say Kol de Parish. Parish means if it's separate. You say Goldschmidt's, and so Goldschmidt's meat. I remember we had a teacher, a math teacher, Shear. And he gave a dogma from a plane. So Shimon Machkin raised his hand. He says, "What's your question?" The first time I heard a question, he says, "Why are you giving an example of a plane? I want a boat." A boat. Nicht Goldsmith, soll sein Brot, and nicht Brot's Goldsmith. Anyway,
They both names together. They
okay.
call themselves together, Brod and Gold.
Okay, so it's kosher. If you found the meat on the street and there are 9 stores kosher and 1 store treif, then if it's separated, we say it goes according to Rav, it's kosher. So for the mother, take one of the animals from the animal from the starter, pull it out and say, since the Rav is kosher, call the parish merubah parish all zayin good.
So every animal you pull out separately.
Yeah, every animal is called a parish merubah, and exactly what he's saying. Take one animal, it came from a Rav, it's kosher. 2, 3.
Has to go for more than 9 stores.
Huh?
Has to go for more than 9 stores.
No, here we're talking about by the animals. We said in the Mishnah, Sheira Nizkol, that was mixed with 10,000 behemoths, Ech Beribu, he says. It all has to get killed. Why? Take it out and say, call the parish, merubah parish. 1 good. Next. 1. So the Raiva good.
When you're
Good.
When you're left to the last
And the last 2, you mean. That's where it becomes tricky.
No, okay, altogether 3.
Yeah.
They say like by the butcher shop over here.
Right, so say
So
the
you
same
only
thing.
have to-
Let him pull out the animal and say, call the parish, merubah
Oh, so
parish.
even if you left with 2, you could still right get against the 1. So
We'll see. We'll get to that later. No, but so right now, so that's what the Gemara asked. So the Gemara will say, no, it's not called the parish merubah parish, because called the parish merubah parish means that you found it on the street. But if you went into one of the meat stores and you walk out and you say, "Ooh, I don't know which store I went into," that's chatzi. We don't say it's mutter. We say kol kavua. He took it from a kavua. He went into the store. He just doesn't remember which one. So that's called kavua. He mamish took from the store and he went out. Sorry, kol kavua. It's a bite suffix. So therefore, it's not going to have a din that it's going to be kosher. So that's what we're going to do now inside the Gemara. Let us pull out one of them. Let us say when he pulled out, it's separated from a reiv. You want to go to the where all the behemoths are and pull it out? Have a look, kavur. That's a case of kavur. So this is mamish like he went into a store, bought a piece of meat, came out of the store, and he doesn't remember which store he bought it from. That's called kavur. Porish means as the shtickle fleish was on the street. If it's already on the street, then you say, it's porish, separated, and it's right for kosher stores. We say, call the porish merubah porish. But if he went into the store and took out meat, that's called kavur de mechza. Here's the same thing. You're telling me to go into the stada, into the kavur, and pull it out. He says, you know what? Break open where all the behemoths are, and they'll come out wild. So they'll go out on their own. So it's not called the parish merubah kaparish. The name of called the punishment, then we could say it's called the punishment. But you're not allowed to be there when it's happening because that's when you're dying. You're not allowed to do that. He says. So he has to make it quietly a break, and they'll figure it out later, and they'll run out. He's not allowed to be around. Still, it's us last king because we're afraid that 10 people, let's say, will come, 10 kahanim, and will grab the behemoths right when they come out together. So that's going to be together the whole rave. All the kahanim will grab, and they're going to grab the animal together. Right when they come out, they'll be in a group. They'll grab it together, and again, it becomes a kavua. It's not a kavua, but it is. He says the is mamish in there right away, and he says or. Right now, he's saying he's in the blood. I don't think he means that the blood. They're going to take the blood of all these animals, and the kahanim will be making it together, so it will be chazan in the ear. Because you have between the rave, you have also the isur, because they're going to be making the whole rave together. You're going to say from a keli where the blood is. You're going to say the union of chazan in the ear. This whole chazaniyah doesn't make sense. It was already mutter. All the behemoths became mutter. You shachted it. Now you have the blood. Taka all the blood. You're being making together. But you don't say chazaniyah as the shein and niskil blood is in it. You don't look at it that way. It became mutter. Yeah, you do. The Isa went away. You said because called the punishment because of rape. Now, because that's shechting all the big makriv, all the blood together, the Isa kommt tzirik, chazvaniyah. So because he put it, because all the blood is coming together, for sure. Before we said it was bottled, so that's why the Gemara slugs that up. Says you want to know, we're not talking about by the blood. We're talking about right at the beginning. That they're going to take most of the behemoths at one time. Right by the start, right when it's coming out, they'll grab all the. It's not going to come out one at a time. To come out a whole bunch, let's say at a time, and the kahanim are going to grab.
Why are they grabbing it?
For the kabbanis.
They want to bring kabbanis.
Yeah, they're being.
Wants to bring a carbon.
It was bought already by 10 balabat. They went and grabbed the behemoths.
Each one picked up his own kite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go get your behemoth.
Each one, yeah. You pay. Yeah, the kite. Okay. Says your mother. You have to. They come out. You have to entrap it. It's not shaykh to entrap all of them in the same time. Each kite is entrapping another kite, behemoth. You can't entrap them all at the same time. He says as a group you can. No, each kohen is doing. It should be. They should all entrap it in the exact same time. It's impossible. By the blood is shaykh. But that doesn't make sense. It's already after it's mutter. Here you're grabbing right at the beginning. Rabbi says the problem is mishum kavua, because if we're afraid that if they're going to grab it right at the beginning, so people will think, you'll let already go inside and take out the behemoth, because it's batal b'rayv. They won't realize that it has to come out first in order so Zayin called the punishment Merubah kaparish, and they'll grab it from the kavua because of that Zeta they asked all the behemoths. Amar Rava, so Rava said, Hash Damri Rabbanan like Nakriv. Now that the Rabbanan said, listen, it's dachui, even though really you could do it, you could find a way to do it, but because of the Zeta we don't want to take a chance. So therefore, don't be makriv it. And in nakriv, and if you'll be makriv loimeratz, it's not going to be accepted by Hashem. It's like all yerdu. It's like it's not going to be accepted. So now he explains that even if you had a video camera and you figured out from the video camera which is the shoya nizka later, it's too late. Since it was nitcha, that's it. It's dachui. Is going to ask Rava. We're going to show you that it's not dachui. Where do we see that? Chatos. A chatos ha'oif, shensava be'oila. You remember with the oila ha'oif. A chatos ha'oif, where's the chatos ha'oif brought? On top of the chut hasikra, right? I just want to, dam chatz ha'oif is, I'm sorry, dam chatz ha'oif is lamata mechut hasikra. Dam oila ha'oif is lamayla mechut hasikra. And they got mixed up. So he says, Shenisov v'chatzoiv. So Eilah that, or the reverse. First we said achatas ba'ela, and now we're saying Eilah b'chatas. Afil achas b'ribui. Even if it's 1 in 10,000, yamusu kulam. All of them have to die, because if it's shini makim, it's going to be puzzle. So it's impossible to figure out, because you have to worry. Maybe the chatas you're going to make a mistake. And you'll bring it a lemaila mechut hasika. The oila you're going to do lemata mechut hasika. So because of that chash, we say it's all possible. So when are these words said? That's going to ask the Rav the Shaila, what should we do if it got mixed up? So the Rav will tell him yamusu kulam. Well, what's it? Smart aleck. He doesn't ask. Asan lemaila. He did both. All the 10,000 lemaila, even though half are oilis and half are chatas. So we'll say machzeh kosher, machzeh pasel.
Yeah, we said that before.
Yeah, similar. Or if he did all of it lemat mechut hasika, same thing. Machzeh kosher, machzeh pasel, because lemat mechut hasika, he was mekayim the kavanas of the chatais, but the kamoilis he wasn't. So he has half. Half is he's saved. He saved half. Shani ema chatas kevel lemaila. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I missed that. But what's if it was two? One he did Lamaila, one he did Lamata. Then we say Shneim Psuleis. Because it could be the one that he did Lamaila was the Chatas, which belongs Lamata. The one that he did the Lamata was the Oila. The Oila was supposed to Lamaila. We said Shinin Markaim is possible.
So what, he has to do all of them at
It's
once?
possible. He has to rebuy two.
If he did all of them at once, instead of doing one
If he did both Lamaila,
he did all of them Lamaila. Then we said
all 10 to half, correct.
He did all Lamaila.
Half, right. But if he did one, then he's going to one for this pregnant woman. He'll do one and one. It's all going to be puzzle. Okay.
Even if he uses all 10,000.
Right. I'm going to say the chatos he did it lamaila and it had to go lamata, and the oila he did lamata and it was supposed to go lamaila. So from here we see that it's not dochui. There's times that we consider it good. If he did it all lamaila, we say chatzi. Yeah. And Rava said no, it's dochui. Everything is gone. Says the Gemara Amalei Ho Kimande Oma. He says this din that he said the kabbanas are all possible. That if he was making, it's never going to be kosher. It's Kimande Oma Balechayim Nitchu. He holds like the Mandama that says about Chai, if it was Dachui,
why? Because it mixed up the oil and the chat.
That's the halacha. Shabalachayim.
All the animals are Dachui.
If it was already nitcha from the mizbeach, it's lo'ilam nitchu. That's how it is. And you can never,
Both of them got mixed up into the whole.
because the oif and the chatz oif got mixed up together.
So it affected all the other animals.
It got mixed up in 10,000.
So they all became Dachui at that
They
moment.
all became puzzle. Okay. Yeah. So Gemara. Oh yeah, sure, all of them, all 10,000, no good. In fact, this mission that holds that if he was over makiv all of them lamaila, and we said half of it is good. Who's he hold like? He holds like the balach, even while it's not nitcha loilam. There's a way you can get away with it. Sagt die Gemara, fragt die Gemara, are schutin, the kabbanis that were geschachted, everybody hold. If it's shachut, it's nitcha.
Which one did he shach? When?
Any behema, if it's a bunch of shchutais that got mixed up, oilas and chatas got mixed up. Oilas kolil, it goes all tashem, and chatas does not. So what do we say there?
Oh, you can't say you can just be makar for all of them.
Right.
It's all of them oilers.
Right. So I gave that example, but he says b'chal in general, shchutin, once it's nitcha, it's everybody holds it's nitcha loila. Okay, so let's go weiter. Utnan says Gemara, but we learned in the Mishnah when they get to oilas behema, which is a balmum that was slaughtered, and it got mixed up with other oilas that are kosher, which was shchutim, which were not balamumin. So you have you shach the animal which is from a balmum mixed with a whole bunch of limbs of oilas which are not balamumin. What do we do? If he was makiv the head of one of the oilas and you put it on the mizbeach, he says, then you makiv all the heads. Why? Because we say the one head that he put on was the one that was the balmum. You understand? He says that the one that there were what happened was a balmum got mixed up with a whole bunch of other ones that were not balmum. The limbs of the animal, which is shachut. So what happened? He was makiv one head. So we said since one head was already put on the mizbeach, but the other we say that's the one that had the balmum that they already burnt on the mizbeach. That's how, because it's a raiv, it's a suffix. And the raiv, since the raiv were good, so we say all the other ones we should be makiv. That's how they pass it.
All of them agree to that.
Yeah.
So the
I don't know.
You don't say nidachim?
No.
No. The first one, you just throw them away?
The first one is already burnt. It's too late. But it was done already.
It was Ayla, that first one?
Yeah. So since it was done already, it's done. So you see, it's not like Rabba. Rabba says it's not going to be good, and you're not makiv the rest. The rest, if it got mixed with balmum, it shouldn't be bottled. And let me first tell you, there was a Siddur Apnimi and the Sor Lazazel. Siddur Apnimi, they took the blood, but before they sprayed the blood, the Sor Lazazel had to be alive. What happened was they were about to do the Aveda with the blood, and the Sor Lazazel died. So then it's no good. So now it's a psul in the Sir Apnimi in the blood because he didn't do the Aveda. So he says. So Chanan Amitzi says that you buy another Sir Lazazel, and that makes it good. L'cheira eye. Yes, you can make an eye. What about that half hour or 2 hours till they got it? It was possible. So you see that this Manda Amma that says that you could ever do it holds like Chanan Amitzi. That's what he's going to say. Ooh, Chanan Amitzi says even though it took hours till they got the Sar Lazazel, which was possible to do the Aveda, there was a time that it became Nitcha because you couldn't do the Aveda with the Sir Apnimi because you needed the Sar Lazazel alive. According to one man, the Amma says you would have to buy two. The Sir Apnimi over again with the Sir Lazazel, a new pair, and two, a pair. But the Chanan Amitzi says, "Who Rabbi Lazar holds on to Chanan Amitzi." That says, "I tell you that we learned in Abaisa." Chanan Amitzi says, "Steht nicht." Afilu dam b'kais. Even if he already shachted the Sar Apnimi and he received the blood in the clay shores, and the Sar Mishtalech died, maybe Chaveda he just brings a new Sar for Lazazel and yeah, but Mazavik he puts. So that's only according to Chanan Amitzi. The Chacham say no way. They say that since there was a time that it became nitcha, you have to buy a new pair. So Rabbi Lazar says you could. Oh, according to Chacham in the garbage, you have to do it over again. But according to Chanan Amitzi, he says, "But the Eved you could now do that if you buy it, even though there was a time it was nitcha." So you see, Rabbi Lazar who says that you could if you put one head on the mizbeach, that was a balmum. So we'll say that was the balmum and all of the, and you can be marked the rest. Then we'll stop it.